Draymond, Steph has never dropped 40 against the Nets in 26 games, 25 games actually, until tonight. You think he consciously went into the game tonight thinking, I'm going to drop 40?
So, I saw this graphic the other day, and it showed his career high against everybody, and I screenshot it, and I was going to send it to him. I didn't. But Steph is he's not selfish, but he's very calculated. So if I had to guess, he knew.
There's one more team left he hasn't dropped 40 on, and you play them next.
I saw that.
What do you think about that? You think that's happening next game?
Let's not piss the Pistons off.
Fair enough.
What was this trip like from a showmanship perspective from Steph? I mean, how incredible was it to just watch him, take over these cities?
What's crazy is that when we were just out there on the court, I was thinking to myself, like, the NBA is lucky because this man's going into every arena putting on the show. Sounds like it's a home game every time he does it. I mean, like, we're all lucky to watch him operate the way he operates, play in the game the way he played the game. It's been special to watch, but this road trip was something different for him for sure.
That shot at the end of the first half, what's the degree of difficulty on that?
Most people can make that shot. Luckily, we all knew that shot was going in. That's a different thing. But it really changes the momentum. I think that's what the second time this road trip that he's had one to change the momentum like that. It's a big momentum shifter for us going into the locker room, and I think we did a good job of following up and coming out of the locker room. Using that energy that he kind of infused in us going into the locker room.
How instrumental was Jimmy's aggression early in the second quarter and just getting things turned around?
It was huge because we needed to settle the game down. We were all over the place. We weren't getting into our offense. We weren't getting anything good. And we kind of just needed to put them on their heels a bit. Their pressure kind of had us on our heels. And once Jimmy got the ball and just took over the game, it put them on their heels and allowed us to claw back and, get the game back in our favor.
What would you attribute the slow start to?
They hit a lot of shots. Everybody who shot the three made it early on. It happens. I think Coach told us coming out that, earlier today he told us, like, we have to come out on edge. The reality is we did it. But the one thing that impressed me most was we were down 27-5, and I looked over and nobody blinked. Everybody was just like, all right, here we go. Let's figure it out. And we did that. So it is what it is.
You guys 10-1 with Jimmy in the lineup, won 10 of your last 12. But does it feel like you guys have hit your stride or not hit your stride yet?
No, we're trying to win a championship, and we know how much that takes, how much better we have to get to do that. So I think we're playing good basketball, but we're still figuring a lot of stuff out, can get a lot better, will get a lot better. So I don't think we've hit any stride.
You mentioned being down 27-5. I remember, earlier in the year, at one point, Steph kind of had a comment that the way you were built prior to the trade, you weren't a comeback team, really. I mean, how much has that changed the ability and maybe the confidence, like down 20, you can come back?
Yeah, because what we know is ultimately we can get great looks, and we're always going to be able to get stops. And so when you have the confidence in both of those, there's no need to waver. But Steph was right. We were not built to come back like that, when we get down big. But it's a totally different team, totally different confidence level in the team, totally different capabilities, if I'm honest. So there's no need to waver.
You've witnessed Steph hit a ton of those crazy shots, like the one that to end the half. Are you phased anymore? Like, do you care anymore when you see them? Is it a big?
Yeah, I still care. It's still fun to watch. Because it's always just like, not again. Like, here you go again. Like, he does it again and again. And so, I said earlier this week, I try not to take his greatness for granted, and get bored with greatness. So oftentimes we have guys that reach that level of greatness that Steph is reaching. There's only a few in the history of the NBA. to reach that level of greatness, and they almost start to get penalized for being that great, you know. And I'm very hypersensitive to that and hyper aware to just always appreciate what's in front of me, because it's an honor, man, to watch him every single night put on a show like that.
You surprised us? You never sort of, like a lot of times when you watch a show for a long time, you do get a little, like you used to, and you get bored of it, or like these fans here have seen him do this before. It wasn't new, but it sounded tonight like it was the first time.
I just think the degree of difficulty is so crazy. You know, like you could see a guy score 40 points and be like, man, he had a good game. But when you see him score 40 points, it's totally different, because it's not only him scoring the 40 points, but he's literally putting on a show. You know, it's like you went and watched the Cirque du Soleil or something. It's not your typical show you're going and watch. It's a whole bunch of different acrobatics that go into it. And so with him, like that's kind of what it is when you're watching him play. It's never just like, oh, he got a light 40. Like, nah, it was loud. Like, and everybody in the gym felt all 40 of those points.
Did you see any reaction today to your comments about Cat?
No.
And are you aware of what the circumstances were of his
No.
absence?
No. What's the circumstance?
Apparently he said he was at a funeral for a family friend.
Oh, man, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. But my comments that I made was, what I heard was this. And that's what I heard. So I do, send my well wishes to him and his family. You know, none of us, it's inevitable. We all experience death in one way or another, and we'll all experience it in the same way one day. So it's unfortunate. You never wish that on anybody, but the DRAYMOND Green show with Baron Davis must go on. So I definitely, wish them well and wish their family well and grieving, because we all go through that, and it's never easy for anyone. But the DRAYMOND Green show with Baron Davis will go on.
Gary, had you ever played in a mask before, and what was it like doing it tonight?
No, never broken my nose, never played in a mask, but about 15 seconds in, it was fine. I can see, so a little peripheral, was a little blinded, but for the most part, it was good.
What did you like most about this 5-game trip?
We went 4 for 1, I think. So yeah, we gave up Philly, but other than that, we had good spirits, good vibes as usual, doing the right thing, making the right play, locking in. We still got to clean up our first quarter. A little slow start, but other than that, we get back and we fight back, and we get in games.
When you walked up and you were looking at the box score, it sounded like you said that a boy wore down. What were you looking at or admiring?
40. So he does what he does. It's just fun to watch. It's fun to be a part of. I think he's got one more on the hit list, and he has everybody. So hopefully we can get that done for him.
What did you think of that shot to end the second quarter?
He just had one in Orlando, so I think every shot's going in anyway. So let's head to the locker room, regroup. Let's come back out for second half. And he gives us those sparks at the end of the half, and we needed that one, so it's nice.
JP, I asked Draymond and I asked Steve if I told them that he'd never dropped 40 against the Nets. And do you think he consciously tried to achieve that tonight? I gotta ask you.
Oh no, he was just being himself. He probably looked up and was like, "Oh, I got 40." He's in a rhythm. We try to find him, get him going, and he makes things happen.
There's one more team, isn't there? That's the next game.
Yes, it is.
Going into it thinking I'm gonna drop 40.
No. Yeah, I think he wants to win, but I think we're gonna try to get it for him.
There was one play in the game where the sea opened up and your eyes got pretty wide. You were about to post around somebody who shut out your name. Would that have been the craziest dunk of your career?
Nah.
What were you thinking on that play?
No, I was just trying to make a play, be aggressive late in the game. I thought it was farther than which I really was, so I could have turned it over, but got the bucket, got the rebound and then bucket. So yeah, so it was good. It was needed. We needed that bucket, so it was good just to make a play for the team.
Yes, sir.
7-game homestand coming up after 12 and 14 on the road. Just what are you looking forward to the most about these next couple weeks here?
Just taking care of, home court, continuing what we're doing. We brought it on the road. We had a good getaway game. After a long road trip, the first game back is usually the toughest ones. And we got a physical team just like we did tonight, coming in and, just do what we can to recover on when we get back and then, come out ready to fight.